So, the common types of drugs. There are a wide variety of addictive substances that exist, but the most common types are classified under 6 main categories. First is alcohol. Second, benzodiazepines. Next, illicit drugs, opiates, sleeping pills, and stimulants. So first we will discuss about alcohol. So what is alcohol? Alcohol is a legal controlled substance that slows down the body's vital functions when consumed in excess. Its many forms include beer, wine, and liquor. So, for example, the things that we drink like beer, tanduay, wine are one of the example of alcohol. So that's it for alcohol. Then we will proceed to benzodiazepines. So what is benzodiazepines? Benzodiazepines or benzos include pharmaceutical drugs used to treat a wide array of mental disorders, including severe anxiety and panic attacks. So people can build a tolerance to benzos if they are consumed for an extended period of time, which can lead to dependency. So that's it for the effects of benzos to the person's body and mind. So next, let's proceed to types of benzos. First is Ativan. Ativan, the brand name for the drug lorazepam, is an intermediate-acting benzodiazepine used to treat anxiety disorders, depression, and panic attacks. Ativan is extremely potent when compared to other benzos. Because of this, people who consume Ativan have a high risk of developing an abuse disorder. Next is halcion. Prescribed to treat anxiety and insomnia. As a short-acting medication, halcion is processed through the body faster than other benzos. As a result, people may be inclined to increase their dose in order to keep experiencing a high, which can lead to an addiction. So next, Klonopin. So what is Klonopin? Klonopin is a long-acting benzode, meaning that it takes longer to feel its full effects. Klonopin has a high potential for abuse and addiction even when prescribed to treat a medical condition. And once Klonopin leaves the body, a person can experience severe and potentially life-threatening symptoms of withdrawal. Next, Librium is typically used to treat a wide array of anxiety disorders. It is often abused due to the calming effects of this produces. Because Librium has a low potency when compared to other benzos, many people consume it in combination with other substances to achieve a greater high. Next, Xanax. Xanax is the most prescribed medication in the country. It is highly addictive when taken in high doses or over an extended period of time. A person struggling with Xanax addiction will typically exhibit symptoms of fatigue and loss of motivation. And lastly, Valium. Valium is the brand name for diazepam, which is used to treat muscle spasms and seizures. So the third types of drugs is illicit drugs. So what is illicit drugs? Illicit drugs include powerfully addictive and illegal substances such as heroin and meth. The nature of these substances is vastly different from one another. For example, marijuana's short-term effects slow down the central nervous system and interfere with a person's reaction time and concentration. In contrast, cocaine puts brain functioning into hyperspeed, resulting to increase alertness and anxiety. So that is for illicit drugs. And we have the types of illicit drugs. First, cocaine. So cocaine is a stimulant with effects similar to excessive amounts of caffeine. Cocaine is most often snorted in powdered form. So this illicit drug is highly addictive and continued abuse can cause severe weight loss and damage of the nasal passages. Next is crack cocaine. Crack cocaine is simply just a type of cocaine that is being cracked or broken. Crack cocaine, also known simply as crack or rock, it is free-base form of cocaine that can be smoked. Crack offers a short, intense high to smokers. So as you can see in the picture, it is just like a rock, diba? A rock naming crack. So next, ecstasy. I know that everyone's very familiar with what is ecstasy. Ecstasy rather. So ecstasy is often consumed by young adults attending parties or raves. It is a stimulant with potentially hallucinogenic effects. Many forms of ecstasy on the black market are cut with much more dangerous substances such as heroin and LSD. So ecstasy, it is in other people call this as party drugs. So there's ecstasy. The next, hallucinogens. So hallucinogen is a psychoactive agent that often or ordinarily causes hallucinations, perceptual anomalies, and other substantial subjective changes in thought, emotion, and consciousness that are not typically experienced to such degrees with other drug classification. So hallucinogens are mind-altering psychoactive substances with a high potential for abuse. These substances are often taken by people looking to distort their perception of reality. Hallucinogens also are sometimes used to self-medicate a mental disorder such as depression. The next would be heroin. Heroin is a part of a group of drugs known as opioids, which interact with opioid receptors in the brain and can elicit feelings of pain. So what is heroin? So heroin, another information of this is it is one of the most addictive substances on earth. Heroin also is a synthetic derivative of morphine. Heroin comes as either a powder or sticky gel. So as you can see in the picture, it is a powder type of heroin known as the black tar heroin. Long-term abuse of heroin can cause abscesses and scabs on the skin, in addition to psychological and internal damage. So that would be the effects of using heroin. Next, inhalants. Inhalants are those types of drugs that you can get through by inhaling. So what is inhalants? Are a broad range of household and industrial chemicals whose volatile vapors or pressurized gases can be concentrated and breathed in via the nose or mouth to produce intoxication in a manner not intended by the man. Commonly abusive inhalants are nail polish remover, paint thinner, gasoline, and a lighter fluid, because those products are contain so bad odor if you're going to inhale it. Long-term use of inhalants can cause severe damage, including muscle deterioration and psychological disturbances. So next would be ketamine. So ketamine is primarily used as an anesthetic for animals undergoing surgery, but is often abused recreationally among teens and college students. Not only it is incredibly addictive, but it has also been used as a date rape drug. Because it is odorless and tasteless, it cannot be detected when mixed in beverages. So that is ketamine. Next, cannabis. So the picture is very familiar. It is a marijuana. Cannabis, also known as marijuana among other names, is a psychoactive drug from the cannabis plant used primarily for medical or recreational purposes. However, continued abuse of marijuana can cause diminished brain function and lung damage. The next, methamphetamine is a potent central nervous system stimulant that is mainly used as a recreational drug and less commonly as a second-line treatment for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and obesity. So, methamphetamine, or in short meth, it is also a deadly and addictive substance. It's a substance that can be made from easily obtained items such as lithium batteries and drain cleaner. As a result, manufacturing meth is extremely dangerous. Continued use of meth can cause thought decay and appearances of accelerated aging. So that is for meth. So lastly, is synthetic marijuana. What is synthetic marijuana? Are a class of molecules that bind to the same receptors to which cannabinoids in cannabis plants attach. There are designer drugs commonly sprayed onto plant matter and are usually smoked. Synthetic marijuana. Mura siya nagaling na siya. Or na-process na ba siya, kumbaga. So, synthetic marijuana is a manufactured substance that contains an ingredient similar to tetrahydrocannabinol or THC, the active ingredient in marijuana. So, that is for synthetic marijuana. Nana siya ingredients nga gisagol. That is why kaya na siya synthetic marijuana. The next, for the opiates, the 4 common types of drugs. So what is opiates? Opioids are substances or opiates that when reaching opioid receptors have effects similar to those of morphine. Medically, they are primarily used for pain relief, including anesthesia. Okay. Then, types of opiates. First is codeine. Codeine is an opiate used to treat pain, coughing, and diarrhea. It is typically used to treat mild to moderate degrees of pain. Next is Demerol.